So we're going to talk about Bitcoin, when to invest, version number 2, and is it better to invest in altcoins and then sell into Bitcoin? So hi, welcome to the channel. If you are new, please do subscribe, hit that bell button and like, and obviously leave a nice little comment. First things first, I want to talk about my channel. I'm going to change a few little elements. So first things first, going down, all kinds of information, all kinds of stuff. I've rebranded a little bit of it. I've moved stuff around. I've taken things off. A new thing is coming. It's called cryptocurrency research. Basically, I'm going to be doing a little presentation of coins. Nothing fancy, nothing like what you see on Supo's videos where they're like fucking shit. Basically, buy Post-it note. It's got a great circulator. The fuck off, right? So we're not going to do any of that bollocks, right? We're going to basically talk about proper coins with real use cases and ones that I want to feature. Not no one else. Not, well, some of you guys I probably will listen to, but if you're like going, I'll do sausage coin, I won't do it. Just, I want to do stuff that is really good stuff, and I want to put my thoughts out there so people have evergreen content so they can find it, do their own research, and make things a little bit easier. Obviously, watching videos, reading reports, making their own decisions. That's obviously important. So that's that. Another thing I'm looking at doing as well, I'm going to put in a membership subscription on this channel. Right, let me explain. I want to make better videos. I want to be able to fund better videos, possibly even get video editors in there as well, where I'll have decent B-roll footage, where I'll have animated content as well to highlight the importance of education. That will cost a bit of money. YouTube doesn't pay very well. So I get a ton of questions regarding tips and what's your BTC address, what's your Ethereum, just want to send you some stuff. I always say no. Don't take that as an offense. If you're that person that I'm like obviously speaking to right now, there's quite a few of you who always DM me or message me on Twitter going, I love your content, this is amazing, etc. I very rarely say, yeah, please tip me, because I don't feel that I want you to part your crypto with me. So I'm going to make an optional join membership coming up very, very soon. It'll be very, very cheap. My plan is to do monthly additional content, but you guys as members will choose what it is. So it'll be whatever a series I do, whether it be a when to invest, a research piece, a wild prediction, or just an element of what I'm doing in terms of the space of like trading, investing, what I'm looking at, all kinds of stuff that I'm doing. You guys pick in a poll, and that'll be only to members. Most importantly as well, you'll also get other little bits and pieces, which I'm not going to reveal just yet. So let's move on to the video. Let's talk about it. Bitcoin. A lot of people are asking the question about Bitcoin, but I want to bring you a bit of information first regarding the world of Ghost Month. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with this video, man? So let's talk about this tweet here. Ghost Month is vitally important that you understand it. If you do your research on this, it's quite a fascinating sort of thing. For me, in the Western world, it's like, well, yeah, it's cool. But, you know, it's something that we don't really celebrate over this neck of the world, essentially. But over in Asia, it's quite a vitally important thing. There's also a lot of like scientifically based data around the stock market at this sort of period in the year, and obviously cryptocurrency. It's vitally important you understand that superstition in investing is quite an important thing. So I'm not saying right now that Bitcoin is going to crash and burn, because it might not. But the factual information that we've got is a vast amount of the information in the world of cryptocurrency and investors live in Asia, right? There's a good chunk of people over there. That will obviously rattle the market a little bit, but they've obviously at the moment we've got DeFi. But last year we had a massive run too. Got to remember that too. So I'm going to talk about one element that people often overlook is when to buy Bitcoin. Buying Bitcoin, in my opinion, is quite risky at these levels. That is my opinion, not personal, financial, or solicited advice, essentially. One thing that I will say to people is look at the alternatives and how to grow Bitcoin legitimately. Don't just go, here's my credit card, I want to buy it. Here's my debit card, I want to fucking buy it. I don't give a shit about the price going to go to $1 million because I've listened to Plan B or the stock to flow ratio model or some nugget on YouTube charging a load of money for bollocks, basically. So, with that in said, I want to talk about this. If you're buying Bitcoin at 11k, 11,700, whatever it is right now, and you fail to make money it's because you bought too high and you don't have strong hands. The chances are Bitcoin's going to go up in future. But, if you're willing to part, say, $10,000 to get pretty much one Bitcoin, and you're expecting loads of money, life-changing money, the chances are unlikely, in my opinion. So let's look at Bitcoin. I'm going to put a proposition out there that you may not like, but you may also love. When you look at Bitcoin right now and you zoom out a little bit, this is just a Bybit chart. It's not the full life cycle, but it's overall the price action of the last 18 months, give or take. We've been high. 14,000, give or take. We've dumped right the way back down. Even before the COVID crash, we went all the way back down to 6K. When you look at this level here and you look at this RSI divergence and you look at this potential top level where it rejected, the chances are, probable chance, not confirmed yet, we could have topped out. Could is the vital word there. If you hear dogs barking, it's fine. They're only attacking people, it's cool. So when you consider that probability, we might be at a top level. What I would suggest anyone would do right now is not to buy Bitcoin for an investment. Buy Bitcoin and put it into altcoins. Let me explain in a second. So let's talk about the average medium sort of meme of the average price of Bitcoin, which in my opinion, when you look at this price level chart, you'd argue it's between this weekly level at 8,800. You'd probably argue down to about 6,400. We're going to say there. That is where the average price tends to be, either below it or above it, and then some in between. If you're going to average it in, I wouldn't buy Bitcoin anywhere above 7,000 for an investment. If I'm just going to buy and hold the Bitcoin, I wouldn't buy it anything higher than 7K. That's my opinion. What I would suggest is do something a little bit different. What I would suggest is, the obvious, is buy into a different thing. Ultimately, an altcoin. So let's look at this first. The reason why I'm saying this is if you go from this swing low to the swing high, the top to the bottom, so we'll go from this level here and we'll go all the way up to the top. The 618 is about 7,800. I would suggest this is an entry level for number one if you are looking to do it. Then ladder in all the way down to roughly that 5K region. It's a risk, yes, I know, but let's look at the maths. Let's just do this. For you to double your money in having a Bitcoin buy right now, bloody hell, you've got to make a good chunk of money. You've also got to be pretty ballsy as well. Basically, well, bear with me, that didn't work, did it? We've got to get through that resistance, and you've basically got to go all the way up to, oh my goodness me. You are looking at a 23,500 Bitcoin. Is it possible to do? Yes, that is very much possible. But to make life-changing money, you've got to be looking at some big levels. If you're putting one Bitcoin in, and you're considering that $11,000 is life-changing money, you're in the wrong game. Again, 36,000. So you see what I'm saying. However, let me just put this out there. If you're starting from a lot lower, and let's just say 6,000 as an example, and you get those sort of results, things are a bit different. They start becoming a little bit more exciting, don't they? So, with that in mind, this is what I propose that you do and understand. Use BTC pairings on any altcoin you can. Why? Growing Bitcoin matters. Simple as that. Too many people trade in Tether. Too many people trade in other nugget currencies that are utter shit. But the one thing about Bitcoin is, whether you believe it or not, the projection is scarcity will always win. It happens everywhere. Personally, I don't think the stock to flow ratio model is going to be the thing. I think we're going to go higher than what we are right now, but not to $250,000+ per Bitcoin. If that does happen, yeah, cool, you've probably made a good chunk of money. However, I think that is quite unrealistic in the grand scheme of things when you think about it. But, could be wrong. Happily to be proved wrong on that occasion. But, what I would suggest is this. For you guys to understand this, let's look at Tezos as an obvious example here. Look, a nice little chart there. Random noise, I know. But when you think about where this has been over $10 in price. Chances are it'll probably go over that $10 because of where it is. It's quite a good fucking coin. The chances of this going to $10 and Bitcoin going to the same gravity of gains, chalk and cheese. When you think, if this goes up to all-time high, I know I don't have it on this chart, but it's been roughly $10. I think it was about $9 actually. When you look at this, right, you can bet your bottom dollar in a bull run. If Bitcoin does 143% in growth from this point onwards, it's beyond all-time high. This will go fucking way further than that. It always does. It always will. When you look at altcoins as a whole, they move fast. And we know that. So let's look at a few more examples. Let's go onto my Binance futures and let's look at a few random ones. So first one is obviously Chainlink. I don't really have to explain much about that. The second one, Go. But I know I'm pinpointing the big ones here, but let's look at some of the smaller moves that has happened anyways. Let's look at May to middle May, right? Let's just look at that. That went up 180%, okay? Some people would have been buying at this consolidation range or the $1 range or the $1.50 range. It's just the way it goes, right? They're consolidations. Obviously, can't see into the future, but if you were an investor and you went, right, I love Go. I think it's the dog's bollocks, right? I'm going to buy it. You put a bit of BTC in there, fucks off, right? It goes and rockets, right? It booms, absolutely booms. That, let's just say, argument's sake, 1 BTC you put in there, and you bought at this consolidation rate, let's just say $1.50, right? Obvious consolidation range. If you backed it, you've probably been dollar cost averaging. A lot of my members were in this one. But when you look at this and you think, well, I quite like this, fuck off, it moons. 3 times your money from this current point, pretty much, give or take. So you probably got 1 BTC, you've probably got about 4 BTC, give or take. If you told at these higher levels, obviously it's corrected, you're looking at stupid money. That is how you grow Bitcoin in a legitimate matter without getting involved in any dodgy fucking farming bollocks where you got to muck out shit and that. This is the legitimate way of doing it. Buy low, sell high in the BTC pairing. Hope you understand that. So, other examples. Let's look at the likes of IOST, which I've spoken about recently. They've got really good developments. They're at a good buy-in range for a potential long right now. Once they get over this level, it might moon. But when you look at this range moving up and you're trading this in and out 4-hour time frame, daily, or even lower time frames, and you're constantly stacking those satoshis, there you go, get words out, you're going to make money long term if you believe in Bitcoin. But the when to invest is not when you buy Bitcoin and what you do with it as an investment, it's where you put it. Where the fuck do you put it? Find a project that has good fundamentals, good developments coming up. I'll give you a freebie, one chain, look at it. All kinds of stuff like that. You put Bitcoin into it and you sell into Bitcoin because you then grow a potential store of value that could potentially go up and up and up and up over time. Don't buy Bitcoin at a high. Buy Bitcoin, put it somewhere. That is where the money can be. One risk disclaimer though. If Bitcoin shits itself at 11,500 whatever, the altcoins will burn. They will die quite significantly. However, not always in the BTC pair, and you must understand this. So let me just explain one thing before I go. The USD pair and the BTC pair, chalk and cheese, it matters on one thing and one thing only, the dominance of BTC. If this is going down, your chances are your BTC value is going up because the altcoins are growing. But you may find that your USD value is going down. I've often found it where my USD value is up and my BTC is down. You want it the flip side. If Bitcoin dumps and the altcoins remain strong, you may find that this will dump like hell and your Satoshi values of that investment might stay okay. Therefore, you don't lose as much BTC. So if Bitcoin pumps and you're in altcoins, you may find your altcoins will disappear a little bit. Your Satoshis anyways. Just be careful of that. So that was a long video. Hope you're good. Let me know if you want a membership for some bonus content, maybe once or twice per month, little additional stuff that could be very, very good. But yeah, onwards and upwards. Don't buy Bitcoin at highs. Buy it, put it somewhere else to grow money.